St. Louis has one of the Midwest's great downtowns, with beloved sports and cultural institutions, and of course, one of the world's most iconic landmarks. The lines on this map show some of the great greenways that I have previously featured in the county, but in this video I'm showing you a densely packed bike ride through the heart of the city, and will end just north of the arch at Laclede's Landing. It's the Greenway with Mac, a channel dedicated to active transportation. We start at the brand new CITYPARK, home to St. Louis City SC, fresh off their historic first season in MLS. As part of the stadium's construction, they completed a segment of the visionary and ambitious Brickline Greenway. The Brickline Greenway is a planned multi-use trail that will connect the city of St. Louis with some of its most treasured assets and serve as an active transportation backbone for connecting and strengthening its neighborhoods. One day this greenway will serve as a vital connection for reaching the park without a car. Subscribe to the channel if you want to follow the evolution of the Brickline Greenway as it grows over the next 5 to 10 years. I expect this to be one of the country's great urban trails when it is completed. Right down the street is quite possibly our country's most beautiful version of Union Station. When it was built in 1894, it was the world's largest train station. It served as a key link between East and West, and at its peak in 1940, it served 100,000 passengers per day. I had actually tried to record this video 2 summers ago with Lucas, but the rain ruined our plans. The stadium wasn't finished anyways, but here's a quick shot from that trip. While Lucas and I did this ride together, I can't recommend this route for everyone until the Greenway is built. There is a bike lane, which is why I took this street, and this truck immediately shows us how useful paint is at keeping the lane clear. In 1978, Amtrak stopped using Union Station and currently uses a sad little station under the highway nearby, which I was stunned to learn opened in 2008. I highly recommend a visit inside the lobby of Union Station. There is a really neat light show on the ceiling at 5 p.m. daily, and we actually had an unplanned tour of the station with this man. The attractions like the Aquarium are better than nothing, but it is heartbreaking to see what a vital train hub this was, and how in an alternative reality this could have been the epicenter of Midwest high-speed rail. Currently, there are 4 daily round trips to Chicago, 2 to Kansas City, and 1 on the Texas Eagle route to San Antonio, Texas. Across Memorial Plaza are the Stifel Theatre and the Enterprise Center, home of the blues. Stifel Theatre is an opera house that also hosts concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and ballet. The Enterprise Center is also an entertainment venue. If you go left about 6 or 7 blocks from here, you will find one of the most unique, eclectic, and popular destinations, the City Museum. While the name sounds like it may offer a collection of exhibits on St. Louis, what you will actually find is an all-ages playground. There are too many oddities to mention here, but some of the highlights include tree houses, tunnels, a 10-story slide, and a bus that hangs off the roof. It's whimsical and strange, and worth every penny to visit. This is the Soldiers Memorial Military Museum, and I really like the design of the building, which looks like something you would find in our nation's capital. Inside, there are temporary and permanent exhibits, and most of the museum is free. Across this park is St. Louis City Hall, which was inspired by the Hotel de Ville in Paris. The park is Polker Park and is one of 6 small parks along Market Street, this one being named for a mayor from the 70s. St. Louis also has a light rail system with 2 lines that serve the greater St. Louis area, in addition to parts of Illinois across the river. There are 5 stations that we generally run parallel to along this ride to the arch. Bikes are allowed, but the experience is not awesome. Boarding is level, but there is not really an easy place to put your bike inside the train. I've done it a few times, and it's worth it if you need to get across town, but you may end up standing and holding your bike while riding. I rode Metrolink to record this video, and my bike journey actually started back at the Forest Park station. Subscribe if you are enjoying this content, as my plan is to make a video all about Forest Park and the future Brickline Greenway connection between Forest Park and CITYPARK. If you go left on 8th Street 1 block, you'll be at the 8th and Pine Metrolink station. To the right is the City Garden Sculpture Park, and if you go 2 blocks past it, you will see Busch Stadium, home of the Cardinals, and its relatively new sports district called Ballpark Village. These are both really great places to spend time, and there is a Metrolink station here as well, called Stadium. Ballpark Village can be a safe haven from a summer storm, as it was on my last visit. As someone who never needed to check the weather growing up in California, possibly my best tip is to check the weather before you ride, no matter what season. But also have a backup plan. Sometimes this weather comes out of nowhere, or maybe that's just how it feels. I recorded the fountain at the 10-second mark of this video, 20 minutes before this downpour outside Ballpark Village. Right before the arch is the old courthouse, designed in a Greek revival style, which was completed in its current form in 1864. There is a beautiful rotunda and a dome that was modeled after St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. The courthouse is most famous for being the location of the Dred Scott case, which ruled that citizenship did not extend to people of African descent, so they did not have the right to sue in court for their freedom. The Supreme Court upheld this decision in what is believed to be their worst decision in history. The courthouse is part of a $380 million City Arch River project that has added a museum beneath the arch and capped the short stretch of Interstate 44 that we are about to ride over. The courthouse is expected to reopen to visitors in the summer of 2025. And there is St. Louis's defining landmark, the Gateway Arch. The structure is 630 feet both tall and wide, and was completed in 1965, and is believed to be the tallest man-made monument in the Western Hemisphere. It is the largest stainless steel monument in the world. The bases are 54-foot equilateral triangles that decrease to 17 feet at the top, and its hollow structure enables a tram to whisk visitors to the observation area at its apex. From far away, the arch defines the skyline, making it one of the world's easiest to identify. Up close, it is impressively large. Between the bases and under the grass is a museum for the monument, which finished its remodel in 2018. The museum has free admission, and it currently costs a little less than $20 to go to the top, and varies depending on the season. They also have a 35-minute documentary about the development of the arch from idea to completion, which costs $7. And I know the video title says that it ends at the arch, but stick with me as I have a couple more things to show you down by the water. One of the things is another greenway, which is also part of the overall Great Rivers Greenway system. These projects require volunteers and donations, so I would encourage you to support the organization as they work towards connecting this region with trails for everyone. If you're short on money and time, then give them a follow on the social media networks. You can also write letters to your local representatives expressing your support for these projects. I have also found the St. Louis Urbanists group to be really helpful and informed on the greenways and other local topics, so I highly recommend their page. They had the best answer when I was trying to figure out what the trail next to the practice facility was, and I have a bonus video covering this short connection. Down below is a segment of the Mississippi Greenway, another one of the Great Rivers Greenways. This segment runs about 16 miles along the Choteau riverfront, and most of it is north from here, all the way up to the old Train of Rocks Bridge. That bridge and a new park on the west side of it should be opening in the summer of 2024, so add this to your list of trails and sights to see. Just on the other side of this bridge is Laclede's Landing, which is named for the founder of St. Louis. Laclede and his stepson, Auguste Choteau, namesake of the riverfront, set up over 10 miles here along the river. It was them who named St. Louis for King Louis IX of France when this was a part of Spanish Upper Louisiana. Laclede's Landing is a charming, cobblestoned neighborhood with shops, restaurants, and a bar scene. In recent years, industrial buildings have been converted into housing, breathing life into the area. They are served by this really great Metrolink station, which frames the arch beautifully from inside the Eads Bridge. The Katherine Ward Burg Garden is a small but inviting park, and this is the final stop on this tour. Check online for more information, as I've seen live music and food trucks set up here on my visits. Share this video so others can see the beauty and charms of St. Louis. I'll see you on the next city tour.